Hi, I'm Michael Lockwood. I'm the guitarist for Lisa Marie Presley, and I am a Gretsch addict. I was probably around 7 years old, and I saw a rerun of the Beatles movie Help. And I think it was sort of an early evening before dinner thing. We were flipping through, and when I saw it, I lost my mind. Never had really experienced anything like that. I knew about music, loved music, bought records and things like that, but for some reason when that came on, I just was electrified. And I remember going outside and rode my skateboard with its metal wheels down the road, thinking about all those songs and thinking about those guys interacting or whatever, and I was trying to figure out, okay, so how do I do that? What's the next thing to do? So then, you know, the next step is to bug your parents for a guitar. I got bit by the Gretsch bug. I think it was the late 70s. I saw a double cut sparkle jet, probably mid 60s or something. It was in a pawn shop. And I remember thinking it was unobtainable because it was probably $650 at the time. And I've chased that guitar 2 or 3 times. I've known other people that have owned it since. So that was the first time I saw a Gretsch, and it was so different than a Telecaster or a Stratocaster. I mean, they're very unique guitars. I didn't actually have one until about the mid-80s. I had an early 60s Nashville that I used to use for years. That was my only guitar for about, I think, 5 years. Recently, I don't have any problems, so I have a lot of Gretches now. Yeah, I think initially it was the look. On any Gretsch guitar you see, it's like, wow, you know, whether it's a White Falcon or a Penguin or any of the guitars are all amazing looking to me. They're sort of classic, you know, like a Cadillac. I think getting involved in interacting with the Bigsby was one thing that really made me excited about the guitar, because it just changes the sound and the way you play. And so I spent a lot of time just experimenting with that. And I don't think I really realized how different the guitars sounded until I got in the studio. I usually always visualize something before I actually go for it and look for it. So whether that's recording or playing a song live or whatever, I've usually mulled over what the combination might be, whether, you know, it's a Dynasonic pickup or whether it's that amp with that pedal and that. But in the studio, for me, it's about figuring out the little bits that fit around the vocal and make memorable moments. Depends on what the other instrumentation is. So I also like to figure out sort of sonically what the whole picture is. So if we're missing something here in the upper mid-range, then okay, maybe I'll go for that guitar. You know what I mean? I think in those terms. 90% of the guitars on that record are all Gretsch guitars. Lisa found out that T-Bone wanted to produce her record. Lisa and I have always worked together since her first record came out. We've written together and played on her records, but this record was a T-Bone record, and T-Bone has his wrecking crew of people that he uses when he makes it. I mean, I knew that going into it, that I probably wouldn't work on the record. So we went to the studio, and the first day we were there, I was running around taking care of the kids, not playing guitar, not really a part of the process. And I walked in, and all my friends were playing on the record, and they're people that I've made records with, so it was like, oh my God, oh, I wish I could come in and play with everyone. Halfway through the day, T-Bone walked up to me and he said, you know, I was talking to the fellas, how come you're not playing on this record? And I was like, he goes, you need to get in there and start playing. So I was so excited, but I had no gear. And T-Bone happened to have a Country Gentleman there, and that's what I started using when we started tracking the record. T-Bone used Gretsch on it, Jackson Smith was using his Gretches on it. The record is really organic. It's got a big sort of atmospheric Gretsch sound. I'm spoiled without a doubt. I know how fortunate and how lucky I am. And I'll admit I'm a Gretsch addict. I do have a problem, and somebody should help me from this. But it is like going in a candy store. If I go into the artist relations thing, I have plenty of guitars. There's not enough songs to play all the guitars that I have, but I walked in the other day and I was like, oh, can I borrow that White Falcon? It's not like I don't have a White Falcon. I have 2 or 3, so I do have a problem. And it is like going into a candy store. Or I go to the website and look all the time. It's as if I'm 16 instead of 51. I do certainly have a problem.
you.